So I am heading off to the fourth workout of the week. So I'm fully back into training now. It's Friday today, so I'm going to train 4 days this week, back to 5 next week. Feeling really motivated again to just get back on the grind of powerlifting training. I took some time off after the last 2 competitions, the ones I did back to back recently. I went away to Fiji for a week. Went over to Melbourne to catch up with JP, went to a concert over there, trained a few times. I've come back, been probably in the gym maybe just 3 days a week, just taking it really easy, just having some casual sessions. Summer's here in Wellington, it's been beautiful weather, so that's been motivating me to get outside more, been a bit more active. I've been going spearfishing a lot. Quite often when I would usually go to the gym, say I'd finish for my work for the day, instead of going to the gym, I would look outside. It'd be so nice, the water will be good, so I'd just go spearfishing instead. And I've loved making those decisions and not having the pressure of the pressure that I put on myself to pretty much get into the gym, which has been really nice. But now I've got that fire inside me. It feels like that, you know, today even I wanted to go spearfishing, but I said no, I want to get to the gym. I want to just have a good solid session and just finish the week on a strong note, so then next week when I come in, full routine again, I'm going to be good to go. I won't have to miss any sessions because of, you know, muscle soreness or anything like that, because, you know, even those few sessions I was having, man, I was sore for days on end. I mean, you guys all know what it's like. We all suffer no matter what level you're at. If you even take a week, 2 weeks out of the gym, it's tough getting back into it. So we're going to get down there today. I've already done a bigger squat session this week. I've done a good deadlift session. I've done a big bench session already. So I'm going to go on and just hit some squats today, a bit more volume based, you know, maybe a 5x5, 5x6, somewhere around that. Going to be more sub-maximal in the 70 sort of percent range. So it's going to be fun. We're going to get some, probably a little bit of pressing in today, just like a secondary movement would be ideal. But I also want to talk about, in this video, more or less about the previous 2 meets that I did and sort of the differences in them and what I would like to see in an ideal world change for the better of powerlifting as a sort of sport, as what we can, I guess, vision powerlifting to be. So anyway, let's get down to the gym, and I'll talk to you guys sort of in between some of my sets, or in between my workout basically. First things first, I want to get some food, so I'm actually pretty hungry. I haven't eaten today, and it's about 1:30, which is not too bizarre for me. I have been a little bit sick the last week or so, and I normally don't eat till about 10 AM, but that's just me. That's not for any particular reason or anything like that. But anyway, let's do that. So we just got down to Viking Brothers. So I've got a bunch of shirts. These are the very final. So these are the final of the A7 collab. I was very thankful to Jason. He sent them over to me from A7. Just the ones we had left. There's just a bunch of random sizes in here. Some ladies' larges. I sold a couple of them just to guys that really wanted them from overseas. So that was cool, but just got a few left that I'm pretty much just giving away to the guys down here. Like I said, just the real random sizes. Quite a few like large ladies ones, just like overorders and things like that. But no, it'd be good to just give them away to the guys around here, which I've already been doing for a while. So it's never nice just having like a box of shirts lying around your house for a while. So rather have them put to use. And I just want to say again, big thanks to the guys at A7 for sending me over the remainder of the stock essentially. So yeah, thank you so much. How's this camera angle? So we're down here at the gym now. Now the first thing, so this is where the second meet was. So this was a 24-hour weigh-in, and that's the first thing I want to talk about. The 2 differences in the meet, and the biggest difference I believe in competing in those pretty much 2 different types of powerlifting meets. The biggest difference comes in the whoops, or the weight class you're in, and how much weight you lift comes in that. in that 24-hour weigh-in period. And there's a couple of reasons, and it'll be different for a lot of people. But so the first weekend I weighed in at 87 kilo, the next weekend I weighed in at 84 kilo. That's 3 kilos difference, and for the first weigh-in, I was pretty much, I wasn't starving or anything like that. I just didn't drink anything that morning. Weighed in at like say midday or whatever. Now then, I ate like normal, even more than usual post meet. So I only trained twice that week, and then coming into the next meet, the second week, so I was probably at like 87ish kilos still. And the day before weigh-in, so the weigh-in was on Friday, so Thursday, I pretty much just dropped nearly all of my calories and didn't drink any liquids. So real easy thing to do. It's only just for the one day, but it didn't matter how I felt the next day because I was just going to weigh in. There was no consequence of poor nutrition or poor weight cutting habits, and I dropped 3 kilos pretty much in that one day. So that was very, very easy to do. No sauna, no nothing. So I could have easily dropped another, I reckon, 2 or 3 kilo to make it into the 82.5 kilo class, and even below that. So that was a very, very easy thing to do, and made a big difference when you look at the results of what I weighed and what I lifted, I guess, for the outcome of the meet. The other thing that made a big impact for me was simply being able to just show up and lift. Now, so on Saturday, obviously, with 2-hour weigh-ins, say lifting starts at 2, weigh-in's going to start at 12 o'clock. It doesn't mean it's 2 hours before you start warming up, so we all know that. But you get a little bit anxious. You still show up to the meet, you're just waiting around for the scale to open up and go to your check-in and give them your numbers, etc. But with the 24-hour weigh-in, it was much more just like showing up to the gym. And although this was the gym I train at, and is the gym I train at, competed at, I just showed up and lifted. Like, lifting started at 10 a.m. or whatever, I just showed up at 9:30, started warming up and got ready to lift. Like, there was no need to think about anything before I lifted, no process to go through, no nothing like that. So from that point of view as well, it was very, very, very casual. But anyway, I'm going to start warming up for some squats, and we'll talk about the next point in just a moment. So for those wondering, I still do the same pretty much mobility stuff with the bands before I squat. So I'm going to do that now. But the next big point that I was going to talk about was the knee wraps versus knee sleeves. Now this one's a pretty basic one. My squat difference was 22.5 kilos, so I got pretty much 25 kilos out of the knee wraps. Now bear in mind that was one week after lifting a raw, so in my opinion the week before I was much stronger. I did feel a lot better. So I would probably think that if I had been training in them and was peaking for that meet in particular, then it would have been something more like 35 to 40 kilos. I probably had originally planned to squat around 340 kilos, but just the way I was feeling that day, it just wasn't firing as much as it had been in training. So I was really happy with being able to squat what I squatted in those knee wraps. But would have loved to have actually trained in them properly for a full cycle and peak for that meet to see the real difference. So as far as like the pressure of actually having to put them on and time them for your attempt, there is a little bit of difference there, but from my equipped background, it's not even on the same level. I would say stress levels are pretty much the same. It's just like, you're a couple lifters away, you get your wraps ready and you go, which doesn't play a big factor at all in, I guess, execution or stress levels on the day. So in my opinion, there was no real difference there. And I'm going to finish this warm up off, and then I'll talk to you quickly about the last point and pretty much summarise, what I think about the differences in the two. So that's the first set. of 220 kilo, 45 pounds. Just gonna do 5 sets of that today. Should be pretty good. I've already squatted once this week, like I said. So it's good to come in, smash this weight. Moving okay, moving alright. It's only gonna get easier week after week as I go through my training. But anyway, the last point I wanted to talk about, which was always the most controversial one, was, well, reasonably controversial anyway, but was the deadlift bar. So that was my first time using a proper deadlift bar in competition, obviously, only time in competition. Now the bar itself is a Valhalla bar. I don't think it was any thinner than a usual, like a Leco stiff bar. So in my opinion, they gave the least amount of carryover, especially for maybe just the way I deadlift or the way my deadlift has been going. So I mean, I deadlifted 317, went 3 out of 3. On the week before I missed 320 just because of grip on the stiff bar. So again, not much of a difference. So when it does come to the deadlift bar, there's only a couple of things that frustrate me with, I guess, and just summarizing this whole experience and the two different kinds of meets that we sort of associate powerlifting essentially, is that they're not really comparable. I feel like the second week, so when I lifted on Went Knife Night at Vikings, I was not as strong as I was the week before, although the results show something completely different. Obviously there's knee reps involved, longer weigh-in, etc., but we shouldn't have to always point out those things. We shouldn't have to say, oh, the weigh-in was this. Like, they're different. They're not, although they're both powerlifting, they're completely different, and they're not even comparable. Even when even think about anyone else that does this, the totals that they do are completely different when they go lift under these rules compared to that rule. So I don't even bother buying into those arguments anymore. I'm really happy that I tried it out for myself. But one thing I would like to see is consistency, at least in the deadlift bar. It appears that almost every competition there's a different sort of deadlift bar that they're using. Some are a lot thinner, whippier than others. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just what it sort of looks like to me. But anyway, to sum it up, had a super good experience at both of the meets. Still sticking with the IPF in 2018. I plan to go to the Worlds in Calgary. If you guys didn't know, I'm actually moving back to Canada with my girlfriend in around March. Pending everything goes ahead. So it's going to be nice and close, only 10-hour drive to Calgary from where we will be living. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about the future of powerlifting. Final thoughts are, it is what it is when you go to a powerlifting meet. Just enjoy yourself, have some fun. The results are what they are, and it's really only until you go head to head that you can compare yourself with what someone else is doing, because there's just so many variables to go with it. So just concentrate on yourself, enjoy the process, get stronger. We'll talk to you guys in the next video. Cheer Makona.